Hello everyone. Before I start the video on the 60TP, I wanted to talk to you about an opportunity to improve at World of Tanks. So, Coaching Central is a Discord server which I've joined with that offers paid private coaching lessons uh, from top level small format, clan wars, and random battles players on the NA server, and I'm one of those coaches. Players of any skill level are welcome to join. The server also includes free resources such as tank and map guides, a questions channel where you can ask anything you want about World of Tanks, a tips and tricks channel where there are links to videos on different subjects, as well as links to my various educational commentary videos which explain different things. Um, so if you're interested, there will be links to the Discord in the description and in the pinned comments. Looking forward to working with all of you. Hello everybody, welcome to How to Play Like a WoT Pro. Today I'm going to be playing in the 60TP. First, let's go over field mods real quick. So, I bring all-terrain, left, right. If you don't bring right here, then you don't get over 445 view range, so that's why I do that. Usually bring that anyways. I go with the top speed for this one, and for the last one I go with the better dispersion, just for better accuracy on the move and whatnot, because the gun is very derpy on this thing. I think the main one that you could argue against is all-terrain, because your track health is going to be garbage with it. But I'm not running hardening on my main loadout anyways, so my track health is already like 300 or something, so I'm probably going to get one tracked regardless, unless it's like a tier 8 shooting at me, so I don't really care. I'll just use my repair kit. If you're using hardening, then maybe you want to go with neither or something. Let's see. So for equipment, what I'm running is experimental turbo, V-stab, and rammer. If you have like a bounty turbo and you don't have like a tier 2 or more, or preferably like a tier 3 mobility improvement system, like if you only have tier 1 ones, I wouldn't even bother. I would just go with a regular turbo, because tier 3 experimental equipment is kind of the only ones which are worth it usually. For my second loadout, I'm running just hardening V-stab rammer. I think this tank needs a V-stab. It also needs a rammer, so it's kind of just a third slot, which is up to you. I like turbo because this thing is quite slow. And experimental turbo I think is better than regular turbo because the gun handling is pretty bad on this thing. For the second loadout, I just run hardening, which is kind of self-explanatory. It's a heavy tank, so maybe on a map like Ensk or some other city map, hardening would be better than turbo. But for the most part, I use turbo. So let's get into the first battle. Alright, so we got Siegfried Line, Cell Spawn, full tier 10 game, so it's going to be hard to pen a lot of their heavies. 2 RD, which is most relevant for when you're playing 5/6 line, but I'm probably not going to play there, especially because of the RDs. There's two main things that I'm thinking that I could do. I could either snipe the field in the beginning, or I could play in this area here. I think I'm going to play in that area here. I'm going to bring hardening because I don't think I need the turbo this game, because I'm just going to be playing in the city. The key this game is probably just going to be to play patient. It's not really easy to push anywhere on this map. In a heavy tank, you can push the 5/6 line, kind of, but usually it's not a good idea unless your team is winning the field. And also against 2 RD, it's probably a bad idea is the main thing. We have 2 guys playing here. Okay, never mind, one of them's leaving, so it's just one guy. I kind of wish that I was here by myself, but I'll make it work. Bounces Cupola, unfortunately. I am gonna keep heat loaded because it's much easier to pen them with heat. I'm gonna be fighting heavies. Not too much to talk about here. As you can see, I'm not peeking until I'm fully loaded. That's a very good habit to have, because if you peek when before you're loaded, they can shoot you and then fall back, obviously. That is unlucky. The other thing to The other reason why you don't want to peek until you're loaded is because you can scare them off. Before you're fully loaded, they'll just back up. I want to shoot the S-Conk preferably because he's a lot easier to pen. I might shoot him another time, maybe not, but he should probably back off eventually because, you know, he's just much easier to farm than I am. They can only really pen my Cupola easily. Okay, he hit my turret ring. Probably peeked a little further than I needed to. I didn't realize he would have a shot on that. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. I don't really want to trade against the VZ because as you can see his Cupola is covered by this corner here. So it's not actually easy to pen him at all. In fact, I'm not even entirely sure where I should be shooting right now against him. Okay, this guy's down. I'm gonna push his wreck a little bit to get maybe a little bit of cover. Oh, that didn't work. I made it so I can't even shoot. S-Conk is poking. I can pen him, so I'm gonna go for it. Trying to gun block my Cupola here. I'm thinking since we're winning the 6 line that I should probably be doing something else right now. It's just a question of what I should be doing. They have 2 unlit heavy tanks who are platooned with the 116 F3. They could be in this area, so I've got to watch out for that. I think I'm gonna go 6 line. I think this is usually the progression that you should have in a game where you're winning the field in general. We did lose the 6 line again. Hopefully their RD is backing off from over here and running towards A0 because that will give them a worse shot on me in the 6 line because I'm probably going to play around here eventually. I'm making sure to stay back first instead of coming over here just not to alert this minnow that I'm probably going to poke from here. He should know that I'm going to, but you never know. He might not realize that. Okay, the reason I snapped there is because his turret was angled down, which allows me to pen his Cupola. If he just lurches forward, then that's suddenly not the case anymore. I don't really like that he's pushing me. If he angles up at all, then hitting his Cupola is either hard or just straight up impossible, because it covers it. I'd like this mouse to push. Everything on their team is lit, so I don't have to worry about that. I might just... Okay, he fired. I really want to kill the minnow. Needed to make sure that shot hit, so I aimed it carefully, because if I miss that shot, I could take like 3 shots in return. So even if I have to take 1 shot just to aim a little bit more carefully, it's definitely worth it. Alright, we take out that guy. I'm gonna drive forward because the RD's gonna reload, and I want to push this anyways. Turret was definitely the best spot to shoot there. We are winning this game, so pretty soon I'm gonna see if I'm able to push in, but I don't really feel like I can quite yet. I'm not gonna peek until I'm loaded again. If there's one thing that you get out of this game, that's probably the most important. Okay, I'm gonna pressure this mouse. Hopefully he doesn't notice I'm here. God damn. I don't want the mouse to hit me. The Leo is running, so I don't have to worry about him too much. I still have 1500 HP, so I can push in now against this VZ. I'm just gonna go because I don't expect to die here, most likely. He bounces as well, which helps. Nice. Yeah, not anything else to talk about really. I'm just trying to get the final game damage. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this game. But yeah, if they have arties, it's a lot of the time better to play in this area if you're in a good hold-down heavy. Because the arties will just destroy you on the 5-6 line where I was. Because they have much better shots on it usually. $6K damage, 900 assists, 1500 blocked. Get steps. Standard. Very solid matchmaking. When I get top tier, and especially if I'm in a heavy tank, besides looking at like how many arties there are and whatnot, on a lot of maps, what I'm looking for is the enemy heavies, because they're the ones I'm most likely going to be engaging with. And so I want to see who's the farm and who I have to watch out for. So in this matchup, I don't actually have to watch out for really any of their heavies. They only have one tier 10 heavy, and it's an IS-7, which I'm not too afraid of. And then when it comes to tier 8, they just only have one heavy. So even though this matchmaking is good, it's not quite as good as you might expect. Usually a lot of my damage will come from enemy heavy tanks, especially lower tier heavy tanks if I'm in a good matchup. But they do have like an E50 and a 777. The E50 is kind of like a heavy tank, and the 777 is good heavy tank to farm. What I'm planning to do is push this flank. I do this almost every time in heavy tanks because I like it better than the west side. The west side is hard to push. You kind of are just usually forced to play passively because of this position back here at K2. There can be a Jagdpanzer 100 there, and then I'm not able to actually do much. I'm hoping my team will push with me because I want to push this. This is usually what I do. I might not be able to, but I have a VK coming behind me. I'm just going to risk it. I want to load HE for this Barask and hopefully pen him. 1,000, nice. AMBT is overpeaking. I should probably be a good teammate and try to help this guy not take damage, but the strength of this tank obviously is the alpha damage. You can trade so well against enemy tanks. That was almost a bad shot. I almost missed that. That thing's side armor is very strong, especially if you don't shoot the top of its side hull. But he doesn't really stand any chance against me, and this is what I was talking about, where a lot of my damage will just come from heavy tanks that can't do anything to me, or I just trade positively against because of my great alpha damage. I'm not going to bother with a Cupola shot. He already fired, so there's no reason to go for a slim shot when I can go for a guaranteed shot. This guy's pushing, which is good. As much as I want to push in, I kind of want to wait to reload to take out one of these tanks first. I'm actually going to go for that guy just so it's more health for me. AMBT I think is down a couple as well, so I'm not too concerned about him. Those TDs above can overpeak and shoot you. A lot of the time they'll get spotted for it, but not every time, like these guys up here. So when you're pushing around this corner, just be wary of that. Now I'm looking at the situation, and we're winning by quite a lot. They don't have that many tanks left. Now usually I wouldn't push through this flank because it's usually a bad idea, but I'm gonna try to at least get a shot off on these guys escaping. Okay, I was debating whether I should shoot there, but I think I should because I don't want to get farmed by him later on. Yeah, I'm going to push this. Definitely. I'll just focus out the Progetto first. I'm going to go for a fire. Easy. See, the reason I went for a fire there is because it would make him a one-shot. And there's just no reason not to, really. This game is a roll. I'm looking at what's unspotted. The only thing unspotted is a Borisig. There's no way he's going to be able to kill me in time, so I'm just going to keep pushing. It's usually a very bad idea to push the 0 line on this map after you win it. Usually I would not do this, but because like almost every unspotted tank is just not here basically, it should be fine. There's nothing to cover is my point. Hopefully our team doesn't cap. I'm gonna cut across the open field. There's no reason for me not to. I'm basically full health, so if I bleed a little bit of damage, it doesn't matter. Not that I expect to, but I think this guy might try to run that way, so maybe I'll get a shot. Nope. Oh, I didn't spot him somehow. Don't know where their RHM is. He's probably was playing back here, and he's somewhere around that area now, but I'm not positive. There he is. I'm not that interested in the E50 because he's low health. I don't know the HP of these guys necessarily because they were out of my render, but it looks like this guy's still relatively healthy. Nice, 7k, easy, 4 kills. This is just classic how to play steps in a heavy tank. I do this in medium tanks that I think I can get away with it in as well. Even something like a Leopard 1, a lot of the time I'll go here. Especially if there's no light tanks, because light tanks sometimes you can snipe and support your light tank in the beginning. But if there's no light tanks, then you're not going to get any damage by sniping because there's no one to spot for you, so it's sometimes better just to push there. I'll commit there to where the Brask was probably 90% of the time, but occasionally you'll have no teammates behind you who can support you, and it looks like they might have a comp, like they have a lot of I7s that might go that way, so you've got to, you know, if you can't commit, then you can't commit. And then you just don't push that side, you just hold instead. But in that situation, I definitely could push. There's no problems there. Okay, we get Serene Coast. Hopefully no RD. 2 RD. That sucks. I've been having troubles on this map recently when there's RD, because if you go to C1, you basically just get RD'd the whole game, and it really sucks. But going the other way is very dependent on whether their heavy tanks cross over here. If nothing crosses over here, then it's usually a bad idea. This game, I'm looking for what can play hull down at C1. They don't have that much, really, so I'm thinking I might go there. I really don't want to because of the RD, but I might just have to. I'm immediately looking how much support will I have there, because especially when there's RD, if you're one of the only people who is going to C1, not only is it more risky because you can get overrun if the enemy sends more, but the other problem is if you're like the only tank that's spotted up here, then you're gonna get focused by the RD. But if you have like 5 teammates with you, then you're much less likely to take RD damage. I mean, I tend to see that I still get focused anyway, but in theory, that's how it should work. I had a shot on that guy, but I didn't expect him to get lit there. So that's already 2 of their mediums that aren't going to C1 yet. So, yeah, they're not going to C1, so we should win up here. Their heavy tanks aren't the best for up here either. They don't have like an S-Conk or a Kron or something like that. They don't have an STB either, which is good. STB is really good here. I'm guessing that they might not send very much here, because a lot of the tanks are already lit. And I don't expect like the Leopard to come here, for example, and it looks like there's not much coming here. Might be able to farm this IS-4. Should be able to. The only thing you gotta watch out for is when you're over peeking super far, this position back here next to that bush on that corner can shoot you. So if they have TDs like that 183, you gotta be a bit careful. I think it's worth risking it right now anyways. Because he doesn't have a great shot on me, he probably won't pen me. So I'm risking it. Overpeaking this far, though, is a little bit riskier. Actually, no, he got tracked. It's fine. That's unlucky, and he pens me. Oh well. It really sucks that he got underneath us, because now it's suddenly much harder to kill him. I can't overpeak for him. It's just a little bit risky, because I don't know where the 183 is. So I went for a pull shot, mostly because I really don't want to overpeak, but I might just have to. Going a little bit wider to get a better angle on his lower plate when I peek, if I do, which I think I will. And I fucking missed. God damn it, dude. And there's the Yardy, and I got hit by a grill. Didn't realize that the grill had an angle on me. Now I can't overpeak, really. It's too risky. That's unfortunate. It's not an easy pen, but yeah. It looks like we're winning, though, so I don't really want to back off. It's just the Artie's gonna be a pain in the ass. That might have hit the grill. I didn't want to go over until I'm unlit, because I think the grill can still be there. I'm not going to push through this way yet, because all my teammates are just going to roll this flank before I can even get there. I think it's better for me to go back through the middle, because if I go that way, I'm just going to be chasing the damage the whole game. I mean, I'm probably not going to get much damage out of this game anyways at this point, because, you know, their whole team is dead, but it's a shame I lost so much HP, because if I was full HP, basically, I could have just overpeaked that IS-4, killed him. Maybe if my shot had penned on the way in, on his way in, then I could have left this area much quicker and gotten to the damage much faster than my teammates. But now I'm kind of playing catch-up because of how things went. I'm thinking of what the best route to take is. I think I should go back north. Something lit me. I don't know, this is kind of a risky place. Like, I can get hit by stuff. It's just trying to cut across just to make things better, but not actually up that much HP, but we're gonna win this, no problem. I don't think I'll be lit here, so I'll peek this guy. This is not an easy pen at all. Does pen though. I have to hit first of all, but even if it does hit, the pen chance is probably 30% or 35% or something. But we managed to pen, which is nice. There's Senex. I'm looking at his HP. He's a one shot for me. It's going to be hard to get much more damage because my team is closing in, but I'm just going to send it. If I die, I die. There's little risk to doing this, because if I don't send it, I'm not going to get any more damage, and if I do die, then I don't miss out on much damage, so I think our sent went into their base. Bad shot. Fuck. I am a two-shot for him, so I don't have to watch out for him. Okay. Hopefully we hit the blind on the grill. I mean, this is not a good game, but this is kind of what happens sometimes in the 60 TP. You're just kind of playing catch-up the whole game because your team kills them all. And then you're just trying to get to the damage. So I don't think I necessarily did that much wrong this game. It's just how it went. And I did blind the grill, thankfully. So I'm pretty happy with that battle, even though it wasn't a good battle at all. It was just a steamroll, so. Alright, we get highway. Not my favorite map, but it's tier 8, so it's completely fine. Since it's such a long drive to the city, and I might have to, mostly just because it's a long drive to the city, I'm probably gonna bring turbo. In heavy tanks, in slow heavy tanks, I usually will just go to the city. In fast heavy tanks, occasionally I'll go field, but it's kind of rare. There's a one good position in the city, which I might be able to show you. The thing is, the position is best for tanks that reload like relatively quickly. Like I would say an IS-7 would be pretty good for it. In this tank, I have to basically have to shoot down a wall in the city in order to get the spots out. But this thing has a long reload, so I might not reload in time to get the bleed on their way in. Okay, this is why oftentimes I'll drive along the edge of the field. I just got lit. That means that they have like a Barask or Char, maybe on the edge of the city if there was some weird angle, or they're in this area, I think. I don't think the Barask was in my view range in order to shoot me. But when you drive like this, you do have to be careful. If they have any light tanks or something on the edge of the city which gets a weird angle, you can get lit as you come into the city, and that's why this route that I'm taking right now, where there's just ridge, is much safer. But I like to usually initial on the road, but only if I have something in the middle here, like by the bridge, or in this area here, like on my team to spot for me. If there's no one spotting, then you might as well just take the safe route. Gonna load AP. Looks like we might be losing the field. Hopefully they can hold it, because I don't want to rotate all the way back, to be honest. It will take so long. So here's where the free shot is. You just knock this over with AP. And then you have a gap through there. Okay, I got like a bad break on there, so it's not the biggest shot. I'm probably going to load AP because I don't have a clear line of sight, really. So I'm going to intuition to AP. They do have an E100 who could be coming through. That's quite slow. Yeah, that was dumb. Not great timing, but I was just going to quick peek this to see if something was here, but we have K0, so I think that was unnecessary of me, because they probably would have been lit anyways. Since we have K0 and not much is spotted yet, I'm probably going to pressure just a little bit, look for some damage. If they start pushing in, my team is pushed up enough that we will spot them coming in, and if they get spotted and there's a ton of them or something, then I can always back up. Okay, I'm getting outlit here, maybe the Barask. We don't have a lot in cities, so we need to keep that in mind. And they have 3 unlit medium tanks and an E100. If they decide to push in the city, then we might lose it, but we do have 3 tier 10s, and they have like tier 9s and tier 8s, so I'm not too afraid. I'm thinking about pressuring a little bit in the city, but it's going to be hard because they're all in this area, so crossing the rails here, I might bleed a lot, and it's not easy to push deep into the city. It's just the initial part which is easier to push, but I'm just going to use these buildings to cover myself from their sniper's nest and try to get side shots here maybe. We are, okay, their E100's in field. I need a pressure soon. Shoot him with AP. He shouldn't be able to pen us easily. Just gonna make sure this shot hits, and of course it bounces. Unlucky. I'm assuming we're gonna lose the base, so I do need to pressure here, because if I don't, then we're just gonna get surrounded first of all. Bro, are you kidding me? Oh my god, that's just unlucky. This E3 can shoot me, gotta watch out for that. This Barras is going to be a pain in the ass. I need to make sure to take care of him because I don't want to take 2 more shots from him. This E3 is not looking at me for some reason, so I'm just going to shoot him for free. There's a T-30 next to me. It's annoying. But I still have 1700 HP. As long as I keep my distance from the enemies, it should be okay. I don't think anything can shoot me in the side here, so I'm going to side scrape. And he pens that. That's unfortunate. Right as I tucked in. The TS5 might come for me. I angle just in time. I don't have any more AP. This guy's gonna peek wide probably for me, so I'm gonna tuck in once he gets spotted. Need to shoot quick so that I get the reload off before he reloads, hopefully. That's annoying because now I'm potentially one shot for this guy. Probably not, but hopefully he doesn't high roll me. Okay. I'm kind of just waiting for my team. My team is playing passively in the city, which I'm not sure why, because we need to push this, but... Damn, I didn't get a shot into that guy. PTA is lit in the open. I'm gonna take a shot at him. Alright, I don't think I'm lit right now. Somehow they weren't able to push through our base, which is good. Everything is lit. I don't need to worry about anything about driving through this field. Okay, never mind. I do have to worry about things because there's this STB. He didn't light me somehow. Do not know why he was there. I probably should be safe and come on this side of the road so that I can't get shot from like anybody in these areas in case they rotated there. This should be a win, so I'm not playing for the win anymore. I'm playing for damage. Get spotted by the PTA probably. I am a one shot for him. And it's just 2 tanks left. I'm not going to load HE. I don't recommend loading HE for a char usually unless you're like very close to him so you can guarantee the pen. It's just not worth it because even if you pen like 2/3 of the time, that 1/3 that you don't, you're losing out on damage on average, so it's not worth it usually. Now it's just a race to get the arty. I'm gonna cut for a second and be back in a second. We're closing in on the artillery piece. I don't know where he is. He did shoot me, but I forgot where he shot me from. He might have gone into the city. Nope, he's here. He shouldn't be able to one-shot me most likely. Nice. 5,400 damage and 400 assists and 2,600 blocking. If you notice, I was sometimes using my gun to hide my weak spots when I'm side scraping. It's a good practice to do that. I'll show you in the garage how I like to do that. So basically, when you're side scraping, this area right here and on the other side of the tank is a weak spot. So what you can do is use your gun to block that by moving your gun like in this direction and then just covering it. It's very helpful in the 60 TP. If you see someone aiming for this middle weak spot here, then you can also put your gun down and try to cover that weak spot. It really works well. And then obviously your cupola as well, you can try to block that with your gun. The 60p has a huge gun, so it's really good at gun blocking. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. I played a few warm-up games in the 60p, so I don't know what the session stats are for this one. But it seemed like a pretty good session, so that's cool. Again, if you guys are interested in coaching, private coaching lessons, paid coaching lessons, then look at the Discord link in the description or in the pinned comments. As well, for those who don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know by now, because I don't know, it would just be weird not to know. But if you don't know, I stream on Twitch as well, so you can check that out too. Link is probably going to be in the description. I'm pretty sure it is, but either way, I stream. So yeah, thanks for watching. Not sure what the next tank will be, but we'll see. That's all for now. Goodbye.